Hello, beautiful human beings. My name is Ellie. I have a FARMCORE island set in fall that I'm currently working on. I do speed builds and also go villager hunting sometimes. And if you like this kind of content, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. But anyway, let's get into our video. As you obviously would know by now because it's all everyone can talk about in the community, we are getting crops and farming and cooking in Animal Crossing New Horizons. You know, gone were the days when we have to improvise and use other in-game items and pretend they're crops. For instance, I have a sugarcane farm that I can now replace with actual sugarcane instead of stunted bamboo. But I figured with the introduction of crops, more people would be building farms on their islands. So I thought this video would be great to give you guys some tips on the items you can use, whether you're just building 1 or 2 farms or building an entire FARMCORE island like me. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Number 1 is actually 2 similar items, the bamboo stool and the bamboo bench. First is the bamboo stool. So it is a DIY that you can get from a snooty villager or from a message in a bottle. It's also customizable. I prefer personally the dried bamboo customization. You can use it as is, on its own, or you can also put items on top of it. I tend to use it either way. I alternate. Next one is a very similar bamboo bench. It is a DIY item that the DIY you can obtain from a normal villager or from a message in a bottle. So you can place or drop 1 or 2 items on top of it. Usually I only place or drop 1 just so the other side can be used as a seating space as well. Number 2 is the hay bed. It is also a DIY item, which DIY you can get from Nick's Cranny. It's included in the DIY for beginners pack. So there are 3 variations: brown, pale green, and green. I use all of the variations on my island all over. There's one over there. There's one over here as well. They just give that very farmy vibe and they're quite subtle as well, so you can use and reuse them in multiple areas on your island. Number 3, the wind turbines. It is an item that is redeemable from the Nook Stop for 4,000 miles. You can have it in blue or red, depending on your Nook Stop. I just feel like, apart from adding height to the area, they really just drive home the fact that, oh yes, this is a FARMCORE island, this is a farm. Number 4 is the silo. It is a DIY that is obtainable from the Nook Stop for 3,000 miles. It is also customizable. I think the great thing about it is that you can use it as the main focus of the build, like the main building is a silo. But also you can use it like just a background item that can add depth or height to the area. Number 5, my favorite, the Aries rocking chair. It is a DIY item, and the DIY you can obtain from Celeste during the Aries season, which is from the 21st of March to the 19th of April. Just having some form of farm animals on your farm or on your FARMCORE island will just kind of really integrate the spaces together so they can be scattered everywhere, just kind of to give the impression that they're roaming around the island. And of course, the same is true for number 6, the Taurus Bathtub. It is also a DIY from Celeste during the Taurus season, which is from the 20th of April to the 20th of May. Can't really have one without the other, so these two Celeste DIYs are perfect to use with each other. Number 7, fences, and you can use a variety of them depending on the particular aesthetic or vibe you're aiming for your farm or your FARMCORE island. I have a preference for the straw fencing for this island, but I also use a variety of other ones. I use the barbed wire fencing, I use the bamboo lattice fencing, country fencing, even the simple wooden fencing. All of the DIYs for the fences can be obtained from the Nook Stop for 1,000 Nook miles each. And as we all know, some of the fencing will be customizable soon with the update. Number 8 is also kind of a group or a collection of items. So we're talking about hats. These are not very commonly used as decoration, I don't think. So here I use the straw umbrella hat, which is a DIY item that you can get from a smug villager. Here is the wide brim straw hat, which is obtainable from Mabel or Able Sisters if you have it constructed. You have 3 variations, black, beige, and white. I personally prefer the beige one. Here is the straw hat, which you can get from Mabel or from Able Sisters if you have that constructed already during the summer. You have 3 variations, brown, blue, and red. And then this one is the bamboo hat. It is a DIY from a cranky villager or from a message in a bottle. I love using the hats as decorations because they give the impression that someone was working on the farm with the hat on to protect themselves from the heat of the sun, but is maybe currently resting, so they kind of place their hat on a bench or something. Number 9, let's talk about the tools that we can place down and use as decorations as well. I personally love using the flimsy variations of the tools, and if you still don't know by now, you can get the DIYs for these tools in Nook's Cranny. So here is a shovel that we just place next to the crops, and then that is a flimsy watering can. And here I found the perfect place to put my net in my honey farm. And then finally, number 10, we have the Scarecrow. It is a DIY item. You can get the DIY from a cranky villager. I think the Scarecrow is quite an underrated item. I personally need to use more of these myself on this island. But here I use 2 of them for my cornfield. And then I use some here for my rice fields as well. And now it's time for some honorable mentions of the other items that I use quite frequently as well. So we have the barrels, wooden stools, the rocking chair, the log bench, the pile of Zen cushions, even the frequent use of bamboo trees. These items are just very versatile. They can go with any theme, including FARMCORE. Just know that at the end of the day, it's your island and you get to decide which aesthetic and vibe that you want, even when you choose a particular theme such as FARMCORE. If I missed any of your favorite farm or FARMCORE items, do let me know in the comments below. But that is it for today, my lovelies. I hope you found some inspiration or some ideas for your FARMCORE areas. Whether you decide on using the new items or even the old ones for your farm areas, please look forward as well to my upcoming builds because I'll be sure to use the new items. I'm very excited to use them. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel as well if you're not already. I appreciate all your support as always. I hope the rest of your week is beautiful. Bye!